So I think you have completed the project with me, or you just purchased my source code. Now what you have to do, actually how you can deploy this project. So let's get started. I will show you. Please follow me step by step, otherwise you will miss. So at first, if you have purchased my source code, then you will find this type of file, and it's a zip file. So that's why we will have to unzip it. Let me extract all. Then if I click extract, then within a few seconds it will be extracted. So if it's extracted, you will find this type of folder, and what you have to do, you have to go inside this folder, then again go inside it. You will find two folders, something like this: front-end folder and back-end folder. We will need to open it on VS Code. Either you can drag it to VS Code, or you can simply open in terminal. Please click the option key from the mouse, and here open in terminal. Then the command is, you have to define code dot. If you define code dot here, then it will open on VS Code. Let me press enter. Now you can see the project is open on VS Code, and here you will find two folder. The front end folder contains on the front end related code, and the backend folder contains on the backend related code. Okay, we need two folder. And then what the next, actually we need to open the terminal. You can just open terminal from here, or you can just drag this to open the terminal. Here at first we will split this terminal. So right now we will have two terminal. Here you can see the split icon is there. Okay, on the left side, actually we will use this terminal for the front end code, and here the second terminal, that is right side terminal, we will use it for back end code. So right now here can see the path is yoga master. That means we are on the yoga master folder. What you have to do, you have to go inside this folder. So for this, on the left side we will go open the front end. So that's why we will type cd, that means change directory. Then here we will type front end. Then we will have to press enter. Right now the folder path is changed, that means we are inside this front end folder. Okay, we'll do the same for the backend. We'll type cd, then backend folder, and here we're on the backend path. Okay, make sure you are on the slash backend and slash frontend. Okay, fine. And now this time we will run our server first, and then we'll move to the front end. Okay, so this is the second terminal, and make sure you're on the slash backend path. Here you will have to install node packages. So that's why npm install. And if you check the backend folder, here there is no node modules. If you command this npm install, then a node modules folder will installed, and all the versions and packages will be installed. Okay, so let me press enter, and you can see a node modules is initialized here, and it's actually done. And then the next step is, here what you have to do, you will find a read.me file. You will have to open it. Let me open it on preview. And if I just do this, here you can find how to run server, and you have to follow this step actually. So at first we will need to define .env file, and then we will keep this on the .env file. Okay, so here you will click package.json, then click this new file icon. Here we will define .env file. Okay, and inside this .env file, let me close the package.json. We will copy all of this and paste it on .env file. Here the first two is for MongoDB user password, then the third one is for a access token. We will make this access token, and then the fourth one is actually for the payment secret. It's a Stripe payment secret. Okay, we need this actually, so let's do that. So for getting this two value, actually what you have to do, you have to open your browser, and it's actually coming from the MongoDB. So that's why we'll open our browsers, and here we will search MongoDB. You can go to the MongoDB websites, mongodb.com. Then if you don't have an account, you can just click this try Atlas for free, or you can also click here. But I have already an account, so that's why I am just logging to my accounts. I'm choosing Google and my accounts. Okay, so after redirecting these, actually I'm getting something like this. Okay, so what you have to do, actually here you will find a icon, a logo icon. You will click here, then you will redirect to the project section. Okay, so if you have this, after clicking on this logo icon, you will redirect to this, and here you can create a new project. I will create a new project, so hit this new projects icon, and you have to define the project name, and this is yoga master, so I'm writing it yoga master. Then we don't need to define any tag. Okay, what we will do, we'll click this next, then it will take your email automatically as a member access permission. Then you have to click this create projects. The project is creating, so wait until it's completed. Okay, the project is created. Then at the meantime, we will go to the network access tab. Here we will add current IP address and also add a new IP address, and that is, here we will allow it from anywhere, then confirm it. And right now it's inactive. It will be active within a within a few seconds, actually, when we set up database. So for this, actually we can click this overview. Then here we'll have to create a deployment. So after clicking the overview, you will find this, so we will hit this create. Then here we will choose a plan. The plan is free. Then here we'll have to choose a cluster name. You can just define any name. And then what you have to do, you have to choose a provider. AWS is a great provider, so we'll keep it AWS. And then we will choose a region. The region is by default, it's showing your nearest region, but you can choose any of this. It's depend on you. I will keep the default, and then we'll click this create deployment. So after verifying it, it's actually create a connection string here. Okay, at first adding connection IP address, that is added. Then we will have to create a database users, and look here you will find a username and password. You need this username and password, and you will have to replace this. So it's actually for us, so we'll copy it, and then we'll replace this first one. This is user, and then let me copy the password and replace it here. Okay, then what you will do, you will hit this create database user. Okay, after database users, you will have to choose the second step. Right now you will click this choose a connection method, and here we will install a drivers. So if you're using Node.js or any programming language, here is the first one. You will have to click drivers. Then you will choose the drivers. You can choose any of these languages, but we will choose Node.js, and here the latest version is stable version, actually. Okay, so then the second option is you have to install MongoDB. We have already done that, you don't need to do that. Here you will find a string. Here you will have to copy this, actually. You will have to copy this, actually. Then you will open the index.js, and if you scroll a little bit, here you will find a MongoDB. Sorry, here you will find MongoDB routes, and here you will find a URI, and you will have to replace these, actually, from here. Okay, so let me copy this. Actually we'll copy this and we'll replace it from here, and we need to secure this username and password. So that's why here what you have to do, you have to define $sign curly braces, and we'll define process dot env dot, here we'll copy db user, and then this is password section. We'll do the same thing, $sign curly braces, and we'll define process dot env dot password. So that is actually db underscore pass. Okay, so this, after updating these, actually we have already done. So the next step is you can run, we have already initialized, and the command to run your server, you have this command. So let's try to do this. So we will have to define npm start command. So if you see ping deployment, you successfully connected to MongoDB and your server is running on port 5500. Actually, your server is working. Okay. So now if you go back and here you can go to localhost and something like this, the port is running on 5000. So if you check, then you can see yoga master server is running. Okay, so that is done. Next step is you will have to replace the excess secret. So we'll have to make a secret token and we'll have to replace it. So for this, actually we will search crypto random bytes, then you can just explore the documentation of the stock overflow, or you can just do anywhere. Just let me explore this. You will find something like this. If you scroll a little bit, then you will find this type of command, require crypto. You will have to command node first. So let me close this. So to close this running terminal, you have to press Ctrl C. So it's closed, and here at first you have to command, you can see here actually you have to command node. So I am just typing node, press enter. After then you will have to copy these on. So let me copy these on and paste it here. We don't define random bytes 32 bit. Actually here we'll define 64 bits, so that's why 64 bits. Okay, after customizing it, it's actually required, you can type it manually, require, then inside the parenthesis we will have crypto, then dot random bytes, then inside parenthesis we have 64 bits and 2 string hex. Okay, so after pressing enter you will find a string here. So this string is something like this string. We can simply copy this string and we'll replace it. Let me cart replace it. Okay, that's fine. So the task is done. Now we will have to close it again. So you will have to press Ctrl C twice. Okay, so that's fine. Let me clear the terminal. So the command is clear. Okay, that's fine. The terminal is created. Then the next option is you will have to change the payment secret. So we'll need to change the payment secret. So for this here, we'll have to go to Stripe. Then let me sign in. If you don't have an account, you have to create an account. So here you can see I have an account and the account is by default showing. What you have to do, you have to click here. Then you can create a new account. You will have to define the account name here. Maybe we can just define yoga master, and maybe it's yoga master, maybe I just define it 3 actually, or you can just define yoga master final or something like this. You can choose your name, it's depend on you. Okay, then make sure you are choosing United States. If you choose India, then it's actually you will get some restriction. So that's why I will choose, as you are learning, you will choose always United States. You don't need to change it. Then you have to click this create account. Within a few seconds, your account will be created and you will land to the dashboard, something like this. But what if you want to get real payments, you have to set up it. So that's why if you would like to get real payments, then you will have to click this explore button. Then you will have to choose why you would like to do, what you would like to do. We will accept payments, then we will hit this continue. Then you will have to choose business location, then business types. Okay, then you will have to click continue. Then look here, you need to define personal details. Then you will have business details, fulfillment details, public details. You will have to add bank account, secure your account, add extra reviews, and finish. You have to complete all of this stuff. Then actually Stripe will review your application, and if everything is okay, then they will approve and you can get real payment. But as where it's using it as a learning purpose, I will work with test payment, so that's why I am just closing it. But if you would like to use it for real, you will have to must do this. Okay, follow this step one by one. Okay, here you can see a cross button. I am just clicking here and I will back to the same dashboard. From here, what we will do, we will click this API keys for developer. Okay, here you can see this is API key, and here you will find two keys. One is publishable key, it will need on front end, and here is a secret key, it will need on back end. We'll click this reveal test key, then you will find this secret and we'll click here, then it will be copied. So after copying it, here we will have to replace it. Let me replace this key. Okay, so our server is almost okay. So if you have the server okay, if you just command npm run npm start, then you can see again ping deployment, you're successfully connected to MongoDB and server is running on 5000 port. Okay, let's try to access here actually 5000 port, and let's try to access classes route. Is there any classes? Yeah, there is no classes. And if you close your MongoDB, review and setup, done. Okay, if you close this and then here, if you just click this browser collection, you will see some thing that is it's actually some sample data is loaded. We don't need this, so that's why what we will do, we will delete this and let me type the database name and delete it. Okay, so right now your database collection is empty. You will have to add a new data here, so we'll define a database name. So from here actually, if you just go back index.js, and here you can see the database name is here. This is our database name. Okay, we'll make the database name and then we'll make a primary collection. The primary collection actually here, if you check, we will have classes.json. That means we have classes data. I will just provide some classes data here actually for you. You can just test it or you can just use your own data. But for this actually I am just manually set up this. We will copy this classes, look this class collection, and here the collection name, that would be class, and we don't select anything and we will hit this create. Then you will find something like this. Here is the database name yoga master and then the classes, and this is empty. We will have to add some manual data here at first, but we will work on how we can just upload class from the dashboard, but we will show that later. Okay, so here you will click this insert document, then you will hit this on this curly braces, and then you will simply copy this classes.json file, and then here you can simply cut it and paste it here. Okay, so right now you can see it's actually a array of objects, and then if you click insert, then you can see we will have total 7 classes. Okay, and now if you refresh this page, you can see we will have the data. Okay, if you have the data, that means inside database you will have data. Okay, we don't need this one, we will remove that. Okay, so our database is fine. So if you have for the next, actually you can just go move to the front end folder, and here this is front end folder. Let me close all of this stuff for now, and what we will do, we will have to do the same thing. Here server is running and on the left side we will run our front end. So let me close backend. Here we are on the front end part. Make sure you are on the front end path. If you are not on the front end, then it will actually not work. So at first we will have to install npm packages. Right now there is no node module, so we'll type npm install and then press enter. So node modules is initialized here. Okay, so after having this, what you have can do here, you will also find another read.me file. Okay, you will open it, open on preview, and then look here, we'll need to replace Firebase init file. So here this code is from Firebase. We'll have to set up a project on Firebase. Then this is for image bb IP API key. So this is image bb API key and the stripe secret. Okay, so what you have to do, you will have to create a .env file here also. So we'll click this package.json, then click this new file icon and make sure you are on the front end folder. Okay, so don't the back end folder. This package.json is on the front end folder, and we'll click here. We'll define .env .local actually, then press enter. Then we can simply copy this. Let me copy everything from here and paste it here. Okay, I just close the package.json file. Okay, fine. So here there are some unnecessary files. You can remove that file. Okay, but before that, let me set up Firebase first. We will need to set up Firebase first. Then we will need to change it the API key from the image bb and then this type secret. Okay, let's do this. So for the Firebase setup, we will go to we can search Firebase. Then we will go to the first website firebase.google.com, and here we will click this get started. If you don't have an account, then you will have to create an account. So here what you have to do, you will have to create a new project. You will have to define a project name. So yoga master, and I just name it final. Okay, something like this. Then click continue. We don't need, as we don't use it Google Analytics, we will turn off it. Then we will click this create projects. So it takes a few seconds actually to create a initialized project for you. Okay, so wait until it's completed. After done, you will have to hit this continue. Then you will redirect to the dashboard actually, and here you will find this type of landing page, and from here we will choose web because it's a web project, and then we will define a app nickname. So that is yoga master. Okay, then we'll click this register app. Then it will say you have to install Firebase. We have already done that, so you don't have to do this. Then you will have to actually replace this. Okay, so look, we need the API key. You can simply copy this API key, and then you can replace this API key here. Look, bit underscore API key, you will find something like this here. API key, we will replace the API key here. After then you will have a auth domain. We'll define a auth domain here. Then we will have project ID. So this is the project ID. We'll define project ID here. After then we will have a storage bucket. Here is a storage bucket. Copy it. Make sure it's a storage bucket. Then you will have a messenger ID, messenger sender ID, and finally we need this app ID. Okay, copy it. You can just simply paste it here. So the task is done, but here we will have to check on a folder actually. Let me go back to the src folder on the front end, then config, and here Firebase init file. So here actually it's not doing it properly, so here we will have to replace this code actually. Let me copy this and we'll replace it, replace this page actually. You will copy this code by clicking here, then replace this Firebase init.js file. Okay, and you will have to make a export key here. Okay, that is the task. You will have to include a export key here. Okay, so that's fine. So Firebase is created, then you can run your project actually. So let's check. We'll define npm run dev. The command is npm run dev, and here you will find a localhost 5173. So it's actually a localhost URL for the front end side. And what you have to do, you have to click and control and click here to open it on browser. So look, it's actually loading and your website is loading and you can see the website. Okay, so if you see the website, let's back to the classes, and here classes is also loading. Okay, then if you try to select it, then it will say please log in first. Let me log in using a Gmail accounts. Here it's actually not working. Why? Let me show you again. We'll click here, then it's actually automatically gone. Why it's actually not working? You will have to do a little functionality on here. You will have to continue to close the console. After closing it, here you will find build, then you will go to authentication and enable a setting, get started. Then you will enable the authentication system. It's actually providers. Will open Google, then enable it. You will have to choose your email from here, then save it. Once sign in provider is added, that means Google authentication system is enabled. Now we'll also enable email password, and if you want to use Facebook and other stuff, you can implement that. So we'll click this here, then we'll enable it, save. Make sure from the sign in method you will have this true provider. Okay, if you have this true provider, now if you refresh and click this continue, it's actually look, it will ask for your accounts. Let me choose a accounts, then continue. By default it's taking the image of the Gmail accounts and you will find this type of thing. So let's try to access the courses, and if you click this select or view icons, then if you click enable enroll, then successfully selected. So our website is working actually. Okay, so if you click this dashboard, now if you select my selected, then you can see on course is selected. You can just delete this by clicking here. Make sure delete it, it's deleted, no course found actually. So our client site is actually working, but we have still the two tasks left actually. We will have to replace image bb and stripe secret key. Okay, so for this actually we can just define, we can remove this actually, it's actually not needed. We will also remove this. Here we will need image bb. Okay, so you can search image bb. For the image storing actually we can use image bb. You can use also cloudinner. Okay, let me click there. If you don't have an account, you will have to create an account. So I have already an account, just simple. You can just create your account by using your Facebook sign up or others method. Okay, so after from this landing page, what you have to do, you will have this drop down. You will click this drop down, then you will find API. Let me close this. Then here you can see I have some APIs created, but if you don't have, you will have to click this create API key or add API key. Click here, then you can see a new API key is created. We will copy it and we will change it, the token image underscore token, bit underscore image underscore token, will replace it. Okay, so that's the thing. And now we'll change the stripe secret key. Okay, so stripe secret key is here. From the dashboard actually, from the under the API keys, you will find publishable key. We already said it's actually for front end side. We'll copy this and let me replace it. Okay, so the task is done. That means we have run our front end perfectly and our backend is also running. And you can see, let me just page, let me try to go back again and select a new course. Let me choose this course, selected successfully, and then go dashboard and try to add a payments. So my selected checkout, then you will have to need a stripe payment test key. Stripe, you will search stripe test card. Then here if you scroll, we will find this type of card. we'll copy a card, and then from here actually we will add the card, then a future date, maybe 25 here, a zip code, maybe 123 12345, and then if I click pay, let me check payment successful, you have accessed your course. Then after this, if you go back to my enroll, then you can see the course is here. That means the payment is working perfectly. So we can say that everything is perfect on our setup. Okay, so if you have this setup completed, for the next actually you will have to host this website so that anyone can access from anywhere. Okay, so for this, what we will do, let me close all of this stuff. We need these on actually. Okay, so here what we will do, we'll click here, and then at first we will have to go to GitHub and we'll just upload our repositories. So at first we will host our backend server first, then front-end server first. Let me close all of this stuff, and then we will actually host our backend server first. We will just create a GitHub repository and host this front-end backend code. Okay, so for this actually here you can see create new repositories, and we'll define yoga master server, and already this Git repository is existed, so that's why I define one. Okay, so something like this. Then we'll click create a repositories, then you will have to initialize this. You can simply command this first one. So the server is running on the second port, we'll stop it by pressing Ctrl C, then paste the first command, copy this first command and press enter. Then git init, you can simply type git init, or you can just copy paste it. After doing this, you will have git add command. So I will type it for you actually. We'll type git add. Make sure you are on the backend path. Git add, and here we will define a dot. That means we will upload everything. Okay. Press enter, and then we will simply copy the last 4 and we'll paste it and press enter. So when the writing object is 100%, that means it's uploaded successfully. You can refresh it. Okay, the server is uploaded on GitHub repository, and what you have to do, we'll host it on render. So that's why you will search, sorry, here you will search render, and then render.com. If you don't have an account, you have to create an account. So it's actually free. You can just sign up to this platform. Then let me click this dashboard. I have already created an account, so that's why. Here, after creating your account, you will find dashboard, and here you will find your existing projects, and we'll upload a new project. So that's why this new button, and then we'll just upload a web server. So that's why web service. Then we'll import it from GitHub repository. So that's why this GitHub repository. And next, we'll connect a Git repository. And right now you can see Yoga Master Server 1. That means this repository is here, and it's actually 1 minute ago. We'll connect it. Then you can just rename it. If you want to rename your websites, you can just rename it. Let me keep this type of thing. And here you don't need to define anything, you don't need to customize it. Actually you will choose the payments. So here we'll make sure it's free. After then we need to upload our environment variables. Okay, so for the environment variables, what we have, we will go back to the backend folder, and here .env, we'll have a db users. We'll copy db user and upload here. Then we will have the value is this value, copy it, paste it here. You will have to do another text. So here new environment variable db underscore pass, copy it, paste it here, then copy it, paste it. Okay, then access secret, add a new environment variable access secret, copy the secret, paste it here. And finally the last one, payment secret, and this is the payment secret. Okay, so after doing this, what you have to do, you have to click this create web server. Okay, I just click here, create web server. Then you can see actually the project is building. So here you can see the project build successful, and wait until it's completed. It's actually still building in progress. You can see the status. When it's completed, you will see a URL here. Wait, progressing. Okay, when you can see the status is live, then you can click this URL. Then you can see your server is running on this URL. You can use this URL and share it anywhere. So you can just copy it. Let me open it on a incognito mode, and if you hit this URL, then you can see yoga master server is running. If you try to access slash classes, then you can see the classes is showing here. That means you are right now you are getting everything from the another's websites. And what you have to do, let me close this. We will use this URL and then we'll edit on front end. So our server is hosted on Blender, and now we'll close the backend, we'll go to front end, and if you click src, then here you will find hooks. And then if you choose exuse use exuse space.jsx file, here you can see I have an comments. So to do task is that you will have to replace this base URL. Here our base URL is localhost 5000. That means we're just loading our website from localhost, but we will replace using this URL. Actually we'll have to replace this. So for this, if you want to replace it from anywhere, you will have to copy it, and then you will click this search icon, you will search it. Right now you can see we will have 9 results. That means this URL has 9 place. So we'll replace the URL with this URL from Blender. Actually we'll copy it, and then we'll click here and paste it here. We don't include the slash. Actually look here, there is no slash, so that's why we'll remove this slash. And then if you click this, actually it will be this URL will be replaced, and all of this URL will also replace. So let me click here, replace all. Okay, right now you can see it's replaced. So if it's replaced, that means you are loading your data from the server actually. Okay, so let me remove this text, and we have already done. But if you want to make sure, here you can also check execute secure and make sure the URL is there. And you can also check on routers, and here routers, if you scroll a little bit, make sure it's actually something like this. Okay, so that is fine. Let's test it. So from where, let me go back actually, then here hit classes and all of these classes, and if you check here actually, then console, let me check network access and refresh it. You can see classes, and it's actually, let me click here. So in network, maybe we can just able to get the URL. Where is the URL? API key. I'm sorry, I cannot able to see that. Okay, so that is actually, I'm sorry, I cannot show you what I am going to show that. Okay, so the URL is not there actually. Okay, I think you will have it's okay. Now let's try to host our front end. So to host our front end, where we will actually do that, we will just do it on actually Vercel. So for this actually we will also create another Git repository. So from here let me go back and then let me create a new repositories. Here we'll define yoga master, and that would be, we can just define final, okay, something like this. And let me create a new repositories, and for this actually we'll copy this command. Then it's actually for the front end, we'll close the front end terminal by pressing Ctrl C, and now we'll paste this. Then we'll have git init command, then we will have git add, and we will define dot here. So everything is added. Then we will have all of this fourth. Okay, copy it, paste it here, press enter. Okay, when the writing is 100%, that means it's uploaded. Let me refresh it. So you can see our front end is here. Okay, so front end git repository is here. Then to host it on actually Vercel, what you have to do, you have to go Vercel dashboard, and here you can see I have already created lots of stuff. But if you don't have an account, you will create an account, and then if you click here actually you can see overview, and from here you can just add a new site. So we'll click this new and then projects. Here we'll have to import a git repository. So this is the last git repository, that is this repository. Okay, yoga master final, and this is yoga master final. We will import it. Then you don't have to do anything, you can just customize this project URL, but I think it's okay. Then here you will see environmental variables, you will have to customize the environmental variables. And for this actually let me close the environmental variables is here .env.local, and let me remove the unnecessary text from here. So we'll remove this all unnecessary things, and we'll have something like this, or you can keep it. Okay, so we'll copy everything and we'll paste it here. So if you paste it here, you will find something like this. You will have bit underscore API key, bit underscore auth domain, and you will have all of this stuff. Then you can simply click this deploy. Wait until it's completed. Okay, when it's completed you can get congratulations message. Okay, after then you will have to click continue to dashboard. Then you will find a URL. If you click this URL, it's actually the hosting URL. You will click here and you can share with anyone. Actually you can see everything is fine. Let me check the slide is working. Yeah, the slide is working. Here the image are showing, here the courses are showing, all of this is okay. Look, there is no image issues actually. So after then let me click courses, and there is also the courses. And what if you try to log in, actually let me select, then it will go to redirect to the login page. And if you click continue, then actually the login is not working. Why? What the issues? Actually the same issues has happened. Okay, so for this you will have to do a little configuration. You will go to the root directory and then you will go to Firebase. So from the overview page, what you have to do, you will have to click this authentications, then you will maybe click this settings, and if you then you will have to authorize your domain. So click here, and right now we can see localhost is authorized and this too is authorized. Here you will add a new domain, and what you will have to do, you will have to copy this and back here, paste it here. You will have to define something like this, you don't need to define this, and then you will click this add. If you add the domain here, actually you can see this actually added, then the login actually working. So let's try to log in using your current Gmail account. So right now it's actually not loading. You can choose your accounts, and then you can see dashboard. You can check your enrolled and everything is fine. So okay, so this is fine, but what if you want to create a admin and a instructor? So we'll create a instructor first. So let me log out. So logout is also working. So after then let me try to log in, then go to sign up page. Here we'll create a admin first or instructor first. Okay, instructor one. Let me define instructor on gmail.com, and we will define a password. The password will be, let me write it here, 456. Okay, this is the instructor password. Paste it. Let me type a number, a photo URL, then choose a gender here and a address. So that would be West India. Okay, something like this. Let me click register. So the registered is there, but if you go back to the database when you are creating the instructor or admin first, you will have to change the role. If you go back to the database, then refresh this page, actually refresh this page, you will find a user route. So here is actually user route. You will click this user route, and if you scroll a little bit, look, the last user is actually this instructor1 instructor on gmail.com URL, and the role is the user role. Here we will make by default, it's actually for first time, you will have to define instructor tractor, something like this. If you are not sure the spelling, you can check it from here actually. So dashboard, navigate, and you will find the key instructor. You can copy it from here and you can make sure it's actually correct. So if you have actually correct, then you update it. So it's actually for the first time, actually for the first one, when you create your admin, it's the same way, then it's actually work. Okay, so when it's done, let me go back to the dashboard. Now you can see add classes. Let's try to add classes. So the first class, first yoga class, and let me choose a image. So maybe I can choose a image. So which image who will choose? Let me choose this workout girls, and then by default you cannot able to create it. Let me available seat. So it's actually 200, price is $20, then video link, and it's actually first, this is our first yoga class. Okay, if I click this add, submitting your classes, and submitted successfully, and right now you can see it's actually yoga master fast Varsal. So it's actually redirecting. Let me check my classes. There is a class, and that is actually pending status. That means, and if you check your home page actually and classes route, then you cannot see the classes. Actually look, the class is not there. Why? Actually only when admin is approved, then the class will be shown. Okay, so that's why we will go back to the home and log out and create another admin, so another user. So click here, sign up, then here we'll create admin one. I'm just naming it, you can name your thing. So admin on, and for this admin on, actually what you will have to do, you will have to same thing, hash 12345 6, and it's for the first time. Don't worry for that, actually it's actually first time. Then let me choose, okay, then here your email URL, actually photo URL, then you will choose this is mail, and then maybe India. Okay, something like this. Let me click register, and after registering it, you will go back to the MongoDB and refresh this. So after refreshing it, you can see it's actually the user. So by default admin on is users, you must have to enable it admin. So let me click admin. If you're not sure the spelling, here is the spelling. You will find it dashboard navigate.jsx admin and then update. So if you have this, let's back there, go to dashboard. Now we can see it's admin dashboard. We'll have pending on course. Let me go to here and you can see on the second page instructor one uploaded this course and this is actually pending. You can click approve for that. Click here and if you refresh it actually, then manage courses, go back to second one, then look here, this is approved. So right now if you refresh the class space, you can see the approved course is here. So the users can just purchase this course. And so I hope you can understand how it's actually working. The website is deployed on Vercel and it's absolutely working. There is no issues. Okay, so I hope if you want to manage the users, then you can also manage users. You can anyone you can just define, you can delete this. So let me delete this, and if you refresh, then it will be deleted. The first users is deleted, you can see, and you can update, you can make this instructor admin. Let me click here, and if you rule if you want to make it admin role, then it's okay. Let me click here, update successfully, and go back to the users. Then look, this is admin now. If you want to make it instructor, then update, choose instructor, update. Now the first one is instructor. So when you have created an admin, then you can manage your users, you can manage courses. Make sure if you want to remove any courses, for example you don't want these courses, you can just click this denied. So if you check here, actually look, this is test one and I just denied it, incomplete, reject, save changes. Now if you refresh, then you can see the test one is not there. So I hope you understand how it's actually working. And let me test it. Actually, if you go back to the path and if you test it with any browsers, then you can see the same effects. Actually, you can see this is your website, and I think the slider is working, the image is also working. Instructors, the one instructors classes, there is the, this is classes and you can view classes. Okay, so I think everything is fine. Hope you can understand how it's actually working. Okay, so that's the task. You can customize this website based on your need. Thank you.